Hey guys, this is Amena Art Team shop. Today we are with Amena K, and she's going to explain the fox painting.
The famous fox painting.
Oh yes, the famous favorite fox painting.
It literally is one of the fan favorites. So we have everybody wants this painting, like literally. I think it literally is the one that literally everybody comes in here. It's like, oh my god, I want that. But of course, not anybody can just have it, you know. So my name's Amena, like Delphine introduced me, and I'm the artist here at Amena Art, and I paint a lot. So as you can see, you've probably seen some of the other videos. If not, make sure you take the time to go see them all. I know there's a lot, so take your time, but each one has a story, and we're going to go over the fox today in this video.
Yeah. So firstly, I would ask normally what's the name, but we literally named
it. It is just named Fox. I mean, it's one of those that I didn't have to rename it. I didn't feel like it needed to rename. It's just Fox.
Just straight, simple to the point, just like the painting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to skip over why Fox, because it's quite obvious.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's go more into why Fox.
Well, Fox was actually made a part of a big show that we had here in downtown Fredericksburg. It's called Art Attack. I did this one, I think, back in 2022 or 2023. Can't really remember. Sometime around one of those years, 2022 or 2023. With it, I wanted to do something big. I love big paintings. If you haven't seen, I keep getting bigger and bigger, and I have dreams of doing even bigger. But this is one that I wanted to do something on this big canvas. So I've actually painted the canvas prior to deciding even what was going to go on it. I just knew I really like the color scheme. Sometimes I'll just paint a background, and I just fall in love with the color. And I want to do something that fits that mood or that vibe. And so I had this large canvas that I painted the background, and I was just like, you know, I want to have this in the show. I just don't know what exactly. And I think you had another question. What was that?
It's not towards the story, it's towards the more of the style of it.
Okay, so you want to know more of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, you know, I decided sitting there in front of my giant canvas. So I was just like, you know, what does this speak to me? What season does it speak to me? What emotion does this call to me to become? So a lot of times when I want to paint something and I just don't know what, I just sit there and just kind of let the ideas flow. I'm like, what emotion does this color bring to me? What things am I going through in life right now that I want to emulate as a painting? And so as I was sitting there outside in the beautiful weather we had that day, I was thinking, you know, foxes. Foxes are a nice, like, animal that represents where my life is right now. And I really want to showcase that. And I think I can translate it really well on this large canvas. So at the time, my daughter was really obsessed with foxes. We actually had spotted a couple in our yard that year. I think that was the first time we've ever seen foxes in our yard. So again, it was like something that is symbolizing something that we were already going through at that point in our life, because we were seeing these foxes and everything. And that meant a lot for me, because I love seeing the wild animals in our yard and stuff. But also foxes also symbolize, you know, curiosity and adventure. And to that 2022, 2023, we were doing a lot of traveling in the RV. So I wanted to emulate that into a painting. And so foxes, like I said, I feel like they're very curious. They're very outgoing. They're very adventurous. They're not scared of boundaries. Like they want to go explore the world. They want to go and do things that maybe other people don't naturally do. Mm-hmm. They're nimble. They're quick. You know, they're quick-witted. You know, they make decisions fast, even if they're wrong. You know, they're just so lively, and I wanted to showcase that in this painting. Yes, I know, like the painting, like he's still, And I made that to be that way. And maybe definitely anyone asked me like what's the style?
Why is it kind of a little bit so like calm?
Calm,
feels,
yeah. That I knew you were gonna say something about the style. So it's so calm. You don't see him like running or jumping or anything, because before a fox actually takes any action, it always seems to like question, like, okay, what do I want to do next? Like, what is that thing? It's kind of like a dog in a way. Like, what is that thing? What is that thing going over there? But they're not barking. They're not being loud. They're very quiet. They just sit with it for a bit. And then once they make the decision, they just go for it, right? They just go run off and do that thing, and they don't let anything else like bother them or distract them. So I wanted to like emulate that moment right before the fox makes the decision. You know?
You can kind of see it in its eyes, just like...
Got the wide eyes. I'm like, what is that? Yeah.
It's like it saw something like this, it missed a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So, other than the story, other than how this is like one of the most still ones I've seen you actually paint, what is something unique about this piece that you've actually used? Like a technique or...
Okay, so with this piece, I would say technique-wise, it was one of the first paintings that I actually painted the background, and I didn't know why I was painting the background. Now, since then, I've painted a lot of backgrounds. I wasn't sure on what I was going to paint over it, and I just kind of collected backgrounds because I love the color, and I'm really just experimenting with color when I'm painting those backgrounds. I'm not really trying to figure out what it's going to be, and I like to have some of those to choose from. I like to be like, just walk into my studio space and be just like, that one's going to be something today. And it just kind of calls to me. And this is the first one that actually I painted the background and I actually used and made it into something. So that's really like the biggest turning point on, I think, like my whole process of things. I kind of did it a little with the lion and the elephant. I think we went over that in those. But in that, I kind of had an idea of that, it was going to be something powerful. This, I really had no clue. I didn't know what direction it was going to go in. I didn't know what I was going to use it for. It was one of my largest paintings at the time. In fact, I think it was. I didn't make anything this large before. So that's another thing that set it apart at that time. The other things that you might see in here that is kind of unique that I haven't done so much, or you've probably seen it a little bit on some of my art, but it really started here on this one, is this stylized painting style where they're kind of see-through elements, like these leaves are very see-through, but also we have these bolder flowers that are not transparent. So we've got some opaque elements, and we've got some transparent elements, and I wanted that in there. I wanted it to be kind of a mix between the seasons, like spring and fall, and give you those elements in there where you don't, it really doesn't stick to any season, because foxes are throughout the season, right? They're always out during like spring to fall. You can mostly see them. So I didn't want to stick it just in one season. I want to kind of play around with the different seasonal changes. And we got a couple little rose elements. We got some big daylilies in here. And we got a lot of foliage to emulate that. But nothing is overwhelming. And I wanted that. I didn't want nothing to take away from the fox, but I didn't want... to overwhelm anything, like any one element, right? I really wanted, of course, the face to be the focal point, but everything else I kind of just wanted very mute and just kind of just there, more so than trying to draw your attention all over the place. So now you can appreciate the whole thing as a whole, but it still has its focal point.
That is very beautiful. And how about we wrap it up with explaining how it's not actually fully finished?
So technically, the fox was never finished. Unfortunately, everybody loved it. And now I feel bad if I finish it. So this is one of those paintings that I had a time limit. I had a deadline to finish it. I painted on this all day, from sun up to sundown. There was no sun left. I had to take it home. My mission was to finish it. It never got finished. But as people saw it, they fell in love with it. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to leave it for now and decide if I'm going to finish it later. That was like 2-3 years ago. And it's still not quite finished. I think it's finished now. And I think everybody would agree because we have lots of products with this image on it and people love them and they buy them. It's one of our top selling products. It's product line, I should say. Product line. It's like more than 6 items right now. I own a lot of those items myself. So for me, I guess it's finished too. Only thing is, Delphine will point this out, that I still, to this date, have not signed it. I promise I will sign it. But, you know, to keep the integrity of this piece, I'm going to sign it on the back, okay? This is going to be, like, one of the only pieces that I only sign on the back. Just because, again, I don't want to take away from everything it is right now, which everybody loves. Again, I don't want to do that. So I will be signing this today on the back.
Well, thank you for confirming that it is technically, you know, not fully completed as it was originally planned, but also confirming that you will not be adding anything to the actual
I won't be
piece.
adding anything else. It's done.
That is lovely and probably a nice,
the best choice, probably.
Best choice for everyone's concern.
Because once you start adding stuff or you change little things here and there, then you change the whole piece. Because if I just change one thing, even if I told you what wasn't finished or what I don't think is finished, you might think it's finished, and that's fine. And I'm fine with it now. Like, at the time, I was something that kind of irked me that I'm like, I really want to finish that. But, you know, now that it's been a big part of my collection, you know, I'm happy with it. And I know if I do anything from here on out, it's going to make a totally different painting. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, which that says a lot, honestly, about paintings. You can't really change them once they're done.
You would be creating a different painting. Because just like I don't think we've ever covered this in any of the videos yet. All my paints are mixed. So I hand mix all my paints. So even if it's like a tube of like really popular paint that I love, I always mix some other type of paints in with it. Some other different colors and tones and everything. So to try to get the colors that I have on this, I could get really close, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be exact. And again, it will be basically making a new painting at that point.
Well, thank you for explaining the fox painting to us. It's very lovely. And thank you for watching this video. Once again, she is Amena. I am Delphine. We are with Amena Art. If you want to buy anything with the fox on it, go to amenaart.com. And thank you for watching Amena Art on YouTube.
Thank you guys. See you later.